Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you guys how to customize the trade tab in the ThinkorSwim software. But I want to welcome back all of our subscribers, and if this is your first time here, I'd like to welcome you as well. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope you consider subscribing. We make videos like this all the time where we talk about the stock market, options trading, and all things ThinkorSwim. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are talking about the trade tab in the platform. So if you guys have been trading with ThinkorSwim for a little while, you guys know that the trade tab is right up here in the top left hand corner. So let's go ahead and click on that and we'll open that up. So when we open up the trade tab, we basically have about 6 sub tabs here, and the two that I really want to kind of focus on today is the underlying tab and also the options chain. And I'm going to show you how to customize the options chain. But before we get into that, I really wanted to just open up the underlying tab. A lot of people miss this when they're opening up this trade tab, and there's a lot of good information right here on this trade tab and on the underlying tab, and basically it's a snapshot of the ticker that you're trading. So let's just go through it here real quick. So you can see we've got TLT pulled up in the upper left hand corner, and some really cool features here when we open up this underlying tab is that it gives us the last price, it gives us the net change on the day. Of course, we have the bid and the ask, also the volume on the day, which is real nice to know how much volume is being traded, and that gives us an idea of the liquidity of that stock. Obviously, we have our open price, our high price for the day, and our low price, and all good things in there. And down here at the bottom, a couple of other really nice things to point out are we got the 52-week high and the 52-week low, and then the shares that are traded. So a lot of good things right there, just to give you a quick snapshot, because when we are trading the underlying stock, we really truly are trading the stock. It's just, you know, we want to know what's going on with that stock when we trade the options. All right, guys, let's close that out, and now I want to show you the options chain. So when you open up your options chain, let's just open up the 21st September 2018 series. And normally when you open this up for the first time, you're going to have some columns that are already predetermined or pre-populated already. Usually it's going to be delta, gamma, theta, and vega. But let's say, for example, you are trading a different style of trading. You don't really want the vega in there. You don't really need to know what the gamma is on those strike prices. So you want to change those columns to customize it a little bit more towards your style of trading. Well, let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So right here where you see this layout, and there's a little drop down menu. When you click that right here, you come down to a little option here. It says customize. Now when you open up this customize column, it opens up a box here, and on this box on the right hand side, you can see those columns are already in there because we have those already populated. Now we wanted to get rid of gamma, we wanted to get rid of vega. All we need to do is double click on those, and they're gone. So I've double clicked on those, and now they're gone. Now let's say we wanted to add extrinsic value. We wanted to know the extrinsic value of that strike price. We wanted to know the intrinsic value of that option strike price. Well, we can come down here on the left side. We have a nice big menu, and we could just find what we want to put in there. And for example, here's that extrinsic value. We would just double click on that, and that would add that into our list. And then here's our intrinsic value. We could double click that and it would add it to our list. Now these are all customizable in here. You can move them around. So if you wanted to move this up here, you sure could. And if you wanted to move that intrinsic value right up next to it, you could do that too. So when I click OK, it's going to change these columns up here, and it's going to put in our custom columns now. So if I hit OK, you can see that it's added those extrinsic and intrinsic values, and it took away our gamma and vega. Now let's say we've got everything in here that we wanted to, and we wanted to save this layout. All we need to do is come back into that same drop down menu and come in here and click Save As. Now what it's already going to do is it's going to populate the columns that you already have in there, and you could click Save right there and just leave it at that, or you could customize it and make it your own. So you could say, you know, you could come in here and click my options, you know, whatever you wanted to label it as. You come in here and click My Options and you click Save. So now to pull that up, all you got to do is come back into that same menu, and you can come right down in here and you can find the custom column layouts that you've already made. So there's My Options. Now if I click My Options, it's going to populate that in. And of course, we already have that in there, so it didn't really change anything on the screen. But had you changed the layout, you'd see that. So for example, my my options layout, chain layout that I use is a little bit different than what you see on the screen. So I've labeled mine Tactical Options Trading. So if I click on that, now you can see that the columns have all changed. And I want to go through these here a little bit and show you what they look like, and why I use these certain columns. So let's go ahead and take a look at it here. So I've got in my columns, I've got mark, volume, open interest, probability OTM, which stands for probability of out of the money, and then we've got delta, and then the position column. Of course, we have our bid and our ask in there as well. So let me go through each one of those and tell you why I have those on my options chain. So when we're looking at options, it's nice to know what that mark is, or anytime you're trading stock. You have a bid and ask, correct? You have the bid price here, you got the ask price, and then whatever is in between, or what everybody's negotiating between the bid and the ask. So you sell at the bid, you buy at the ask. There's going to be some negotiating going on in there, and that is going to be the mark price. So for example, let's say we're down here looking at the 119 strike, and we're looking at the call side. So you can see that the bid is $1.51 and the ask is $1.59. So you know, when you come in here and you're just buying that option, you know, you buy at the ask, but let's say you wanted to get a little bit better deal and you wanted to negotiate a little bit better deal, you could come in here and look and see what that mark price is, and you could see that the mark price is at $1.55, and that's what those contracts are basically negotiating for. So it'd be the difference between the $1.51 and the $1.59. I mean, you could come in here and pay $1.59, but you're paying the premium, you're paying the most for that option. But if you were to come in here and just buy, you know, come in here and negotiate it a little bit, this would give you a good little reference, this $1.55. So you could come in here and buy that 119 strike price for around $1.55, and it gives you a good reference. Now, the thing that's so important about mark price is if you have some options that are, you know, some strike prices with the bid and the ask are really far apart, you don't want to pay way too much, because you know you just want to know what that mark price is so you can work out a good deal. If you have high liquidity stocks, that bid and the ask is going to be really close, but on stocks that aren't as liquid, that bid and the ask are going to be quite a bit farther apart, and you want to make sure you're not just paying up for that strike price. So that's why I like the mark. All right, let's take a look now at the volume. So volume is a column that basically it's just showing you the volume on the day. So if we take a look down at these different down the column here, you can see that this strike price here, the 117, had 63 contracts traded on that particular strike today. We got 60 on the 118. We drop down here, we've got 190 on that strike price. So this is what was traded today. This is the activity that was traded today, and you can see on these further out strikes there wasn't much activity. And so, you know, we kind of want to make sure we're getting into options that have a lot of liquidity or a lot of activity in it. So that's why I like that volume in there. Now if we take a look at that next column, that open interest. So open interest basically is a total of all the contracts that are open at that strike price. So let me scroll down here a little bit, and you can see that, you know, on the call side here, versus the in the money versus the out of the money, call options have a lot more open interest on those strike prices. You can see down here that these totals are a lot higher than the ones up here and that are in the money. So it kind of gives you an idea, you know, the depth of the market and how deep those trades go. You know, if there's a lot of liquidity in those options because there's a lot of open interest, it lets you know that there's a lot of people buying and selling at those strike prices. So today's volume, once that volume calculates, it's going, and then, you know, whatever's left over after everything's been closed, if there's still some open contracts after the activity today, they will be added to this open interest column for tomorrow. So they're going to be added into that, and of course whatever was closed today is going to be taken out of that open interest tomorrow. So this is a total of today, and this is the total open interest for everything that's open out there right now. All right, and then let's take a look now at delta. So the delta column, if you trade options like I do, where you sell options mostly, you want to sell, you know, sell it around a 15 to 30 delta, somewhere in there. So it's nice to know what those deltas are, so it kind of gives you an idea of where you're at when you're selling options. Now another thing I wanted to point out here is the probability of out of the money. So this is a really neat feature on ThinkorSwim that you can add into your options chain here. And this probability of out of the money, and the way I like to use it is when you sell options, I want to know what the chances of that option are expiring out of the money. So for example, if you come down here, let's scroll down just a little bit, and let's take a look at these lower strike prices, or these higher strike prices, I want to say. So if we're trading right now at $120, around that $120 strike, let's say what's the chances of expiring out of the money if we were to come in here and sell that 122 strike. So we'll come over here to that 122 strike. You can see that the chances of that option, of that strike price expiring out of the money, are about 80% chance. So you can pick your probabilities of that option expiring out of the money based on this probability out of the money column. So you can see the farther out we go on these strike prices, the probability of those options expiring worthless or expiring out of the money increase. Same on the put side. So if you come over here on the put side, you can see that as we roll out, that probability of out of the money just continues to increase as we go higher or lower on the put side, actually. All right, now the last column I wanted to point out was just the positions column. So I just put that on there just because I like to see what positions I have. So for example, right now I have a position in October, and you can see as we come down, it's just a one contract trade here. We got an iron butterfly trading at the 121 strike. So you can see we've sold this position, we've sold this position, and then we bought this position, and we bought this position for protection. Now by showing you guys this, I definitely don't want to recommend trading TLT. I'm just using this as an example, and I'm just showing you this on my platform to show you what I use these columns for. All right guys, that's going to do it for this short video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give us a like, and I hope you consider subscribing. We make videos like this all the time. Please comment in the section below what you liked about it, and if you have any other ideas that you'd like us to make videos about, we'd love to hear from you. Again, my name's Kirk with Tactical Options Trading. Have a good one, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.